June 8th and June 9th, the X date when it comes to the debt ceiling and a potential default. I have all the details and the latest information right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to give you the latest details on the debt ceiling negotiations, where we currently stand, what progress is being made, and what are the details behind this X date of June 8th and June 9th. And I also do want to talk about some new details that were just released out of the Census Bureau talking about the finances of the average American right now, as these are some pretty shocking numbers, as we are currently sitting at levels we have not been at in many years. We've got a lot to talk about here in the video, so let's get right into it. And now first off, I do want to talk about a report and some new information that came out of Goldman Sachs, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with who Goldman Sachs is, it is a major bank, a huge bank in New York, one of the biggest banks in the country. But they were just out recently talking about the X date here in the United States, which is the date in which the Treasury will be fresh out of cash. Now, here's the thing. Just a couple days ago, I was out in a separate video talking about the cash levels in the Treasury based on a week ago and last week, and now where we're currently sitting with cash levels in the Treasury. They are burning through cash very fast, okay? Like a week and a half ago, they were sitting on $140 billion in cash. As of just a few days ago, late last week, they were sitting at $87 billion, okay? They're going through cash very fast right now, okay? It's not going to last that much longer. So anyway, here's what it comes down to. So Goldman Sachs pointed out that the X date, as in, this is what they're calling it, the date in which the Treasury will be out of cash. They're calling it the X date, okay? Like the date that, basically things are going to hit the fan, okay? If things do not progress here with the debt ceiling negotiations, okay? So they're now saying that June 8th / June 9th, right around that time frame between those 2 days, is the time frame in which the Treasury will be running out of cash, as in that $87 billion will be gone, okay? As in, they don't have any more money, okay? They're gone. It's empty. So it's kind of like the same thing as, picture yourself with a bank account, right? You've got $87 in the bank account. The money is dwindling away. Slowly but surely, it continues to go away. Well, in a matter of just, what is that, like 2 weeks from right now, that money will be completely gone, right? So that's basically what they're saying here, is that money is only going to last that much longer. So this is what they're talking about. Now, the president and Kevin McCarthy did meet on Monday to discuss it further. They did have a conversation by phone over the weekend, and it sounds like it didn't have any progression, but they did meet again on Monday and discuss those details. So again, sounds like they're making maybe a little bit of progress. Here's what's interesting about it. It totally depends on which reports you read. I read a lot of information every single day on a lot of different things. One report says it's a little bit productive. Another report says, well, it was productive, and then basically everything shut down. So it really depends on what you read, but either way, it sounds like maybe a little bit of progress is being made, but not a whole lot. It sounds like both sides are digging in and not really making a whole lot of concessions for the most part, but maybe a little bit, okay? All right, so I will continue to keep an eye on that. Now, obviously, I'm not going to talk about it every single day, but it is something that is, a pretty hot button issue right now. We probably want to continue paying attention to. Now, next, let's quickly talk about this new report that was released talking about the finances of the American people that was released by the Census Bureau. This is pretty surprising. Now, there's some statistics here that I want to share with you because this is a little bit eye-opening to show the real state of the finances of the American people right now, and how badly the American people really need some extra money. Now, everybody? Nope, not everybody, but a huge percentage of the population? Yep, that's for sure. All right, now check this out. This was a report, a household survey that was conducted through the last few days of April and about the first week or so of May. So it was about a 2-week time frame from about late April into early May. Now check this out. They found that 89.1 million Americans were reporting, so just under 90 million Americans were reporting that they did not have enough money, or that they basically, that their money, that they're very concerned about covering their household expenses on a monthly basis. So essentially, they don't have the money to cover the household expenses, okay? 90 million Americans, or basically just under 89.1 million Americans, which, by the way, to put it into perspective, there's about 334 million Americans, as in, citizens here in the country, okay? So that's like a huge percentage of people, right? But they also found this much, that this includes 38.5% of adults, okay? So let's put that into perspective a little bit further. 38.5% of adults were included in this. 1 year ago, during the same time frame, they ran the same study a year ago during the same time. A year ago, that number was sitting at 34.4 of adults, okay? So it's gone up by, what is that, 4.1% just in 1 year's time frame. However, get this, from the year prior, 2021, it was sitting at 26.7%. So in just 2 years' time, from the same time frame in 2021 until now, 2023, it went from 26.4% to 38.5%. What is that? Like 9%, just under 9%. What is that? 8.8%, I believe, if I'm doing that correctly. Increase in just a 2-year time frame. Actually, I think it's more than that. I apologize. I think I'm saying that wrong. I think it's 11.8%. Am I saying that correctly? I'll have to check the math on that. But yeah, I think I ran the math on that incorrectly the first time. I believe that's 11.8% difference there. So that's craziness. That's just in 2 years' time how much more Americans are struggling right now, and this is based on the finances. In other words, long story short, and what this means in simple words is that Americans don't have enough money to cover basic household expenses right now. We've also seen a number of reports that have come out recently as well, where the vast majority of Americans don't have $400 to cover an unexpected cost. What costs $400 these days? A lot of things, like virtually everything, right? If your car breaks down, you're not going to get out of that for less than $400, okay? My point is, everything costs a lot these days, right? You have some kind of plumbing leak or electrical issue or a car breakdown or something like that. I'm sorry, but that's going to be at least $400, okay? Things are very, very expensive now. Let's just say your dryer goes out, your washing machine, your refrigerator. I mean, seriously, refrigerator, what is that? $1,000 now for a cheap one? I mean, seriously, everything is so incredibly expensive now. So this is a study that was released, again, by the Census Bureau. And again, this was just a few weeks ago. So we can clearly see this is fresh, right off the hot off the press here. And we can clearly see the details of the finances of the American people right now. So I don't know, kind of interesting to see all this going on. But this also shows the details of maybe some of the major effects of raising interest rates, okay? So we know that the Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates pretty aggressively here for well over a year now. In fact, back in March of 2022 is when they had the first of 10 consecutive interest rate hikes with all of their FOMC meetings. They just had their last one about, 3 weeks ago or so? Early May, they had their last one, again, raising interest rates again. And they have their next one in about, 3 weeks from now, maybe 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks from right now. Mid-June is their next meeting. So probably raising interest rates again, maybe pausing. We'll see about that. But they've been aggressively raising interest rates for 10 consecutive meetings here in a row. So we can clearly see, well, what's going on here? Why don't people have money? Well, here's what it comes down to. Couple different issues. Number one, inflation. Inflation has been eroding the purchasing power of our dollars very rapidly here over the last couple of years. We also know this much. Incomes are not keeping up. Whether somebody is working a 9 to 5, whether they're working 40 hours a week, whether they're living on a fixed income benefit, doesn't matter. Does not matter what somebody is getting their income from. We simply know across the board incomes are not keeping up because did most people get a 10, 12, 15, 20% increase to their income this year? Nope. Most people didn't. Maybe some people did, but the vast majority of people, no, not even close. And we know that real inflation out there is sitting at about those levels, depending on what you're looking at. Even though they continue to tell us, oh no, don't worry everybody, inflation is sitting at 4.9%. Okay, really? Again, we've talked about this so many times before in other videos. Are prices still rising in your local area? When you go to the store to buy stuff, are prices higher or lower or the same from what they were a week ago, a month ago? I think we all know the answer to that, right? So the real answer is, are prices still going up or are they remaining stable? Well, they're probably still going up on a lot of different things, right? Anyway, so that's what it comes down to is obviously inflation, eroding purchasing power, income, not keeping up with real cost of, real expenses, the real cost of living out there. And then, of course, also as well, interest rates making it more expensive to pay down balances or debts that we may have been carrying here over the last couple of years, especially on credit cards, which, by the way, the average interest rate on a credit card right now, 20.33%, the highest level we've ever seen. The previous high that we've ever seen before was back in 1991 at 19%. Okay, so we're a full 1.33% higher than the last record back in 1991. That was 32 years ago, right? A long time ago. Anyway, I want to bring you the details here. These are a few different reports that I've been seeing out there, showing up out there, which, by the way, in this video right here, I cited about 4 different reports here. So just want to make that very clear, just transparent, letting you know that I am referencing many different reports here. but I just want to bring it all to you here in this quick video. Anyway, craziness, right? Wow, the lingering effects of all of this that has happened here over the last couple of years still hanging around, right? So, wow. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Again, I want to keep you posted. Of course, I will continue to keep you updated on the debt ceiling issue. Again, like I said, I'm not going to talk about it every day, but we're kind of down to the wire here where it's going to get a little bit interesting, right? It's been pretty dramatic so far between lawmakers and the administration, everything like that. We'll see here what happens over the coming days, the next couple weeks or so. Oh, one last side note I'm going to throw out there really fast. Remember last week, at the beginning of last week, they said, we need to have a deal done by the end of this week in order to reach the June 1st deadline. Guess what? They didn't do it. Just like I called last week, I said they're not going to have a deal done. Not a chance. Didn't do it. Well, now they're saying, guess what? We need to have a deal done by the end of this week to reach the deadline. Okay. I mean, seriously, you can only cry wolf a couple times, right? Anyway, we'll see what happens here. Please don't worry about it. They will do something. Pretty sure of it. So either way, I'll keep you posted. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. And just try to take a deep breath these days. Seriously, I think it's a lot of us what we need right now, right? It's crazy out there. So my advice would not be to drink energy drinks like me. I should probably lay off a little bit. Anyway, enjoy. Have a good one. And I'll catch you good later in the